Hi, what's up everyone? Yesterday the PTS went live for the Division 2 for Title Update 21. We got to stream it, we tested out all the new gear, we spoke about it in chat, and today I just want to give you a breakdown of the PTS. If you've not seen what's coming yet, I will go over everything that is coming, so you know. I'll give you some gameplay of all this new gear and also discuss my opinions of it. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the brand new gear set that'll be coming in the next season called Breaking Point. This new gear set has been created around rifles and marksman rifles. For two pieces, you're going to get 25% rifle damage and marksman rifle damage. For the third piece of this gear set, you'll get 30% headshot damage and 15% weapon handling. And if you wear all four pieces of this new gear set, you get the on-point talent, where hitting a shot with a rifle or marksman rifle grants a stack. The max stack is equal to the weapon's magazine size. Reloading will grant 2% weapon handling and 2% weapon damage per stack for 10 seconds. No stacks are acquired while the bonuses are active, and the timer running out will refill your magazine. Switching weapons while the bonuses are active will stop the effect and refill your magazine also, and swapping weapons while the bonuses are not active will remove all the stacks and refill your magazine as well. The gear set is built for DPS, so we wanted to test it out against the meta in the game right now, which is obviously Striker's battle gear. And we took it straight into some legendaries and we put some builds together last night on stream. This is the build I came up with. I just did a carbon copy of my rugged gloves Striker build, just switched out the Striker for the new gear set, and threw on a rifle. And I tried a few rifles with it. It's a glass cannon rugged glove build. It's really good with Strikers. I just wanted to see if I could make it work with the rifle. And it did perform quite well, to be honest with you. We tried it first off with the Ravenous. I tried the Paratrooper SVD with it, which I think was my favorite weapon. I tried the Merciless or Ruthless, and I also tried the CQB. And after a couple of legendary missions, I have to say it all just felt a little bit underwhelming. I don't think it's as powerful as it needs to be. It was great fun, but everything just seems slow compared to Strikers. We had a few wipes where we normally wouldn't. You didn't have that like initial burst damage you could get with Strikers and the assault rifles and then the stacks growing. It just didn't feel as powerful as I believe it needs to feel with the current state of the game. Now, obviously, there's going to be many different builds you can make and ways to play this build. This is just after one session on the PTS on stream. It's what we did, and this is how it felt. So that's why I'm feeding it back. But a lot of people in chat were saying the same thing. A lot of people are feeling that this gear set and the whole update, to be honest with you, is quite underwhelming. And things need some buffs if they're going to work. I think the problem that you got is that this is a rifle gear set. Rifles are slow fire rate. It is a different style of play. So when you do compare it to Strikers, maybe you just can't. But there are a few adjustments we were speaking about and a few things you could maybe change with the gear set to make it that bit more powerful. We were talking about removing the weapon handling, also removing the marksman rifle damage, maybe just making it pure rifle gear set, bringing some crit damage on the gear set bonuses, and then maybe even increase the damage from the on-point talent. So where at the minute for the base it's 2% weapon damage that you get, if you wear the backpack of this gear set, it increases that to 3%. And the chest piece will also increase the duration to 15 seconds as well. But buff them, you know, make it a base, I don't know, 15 seconds so you get the extra damage, and then increase the chest piece talent, or make it so you get 5% from the stacks weapon damage and you increase that with the backpack. It just needs to be more powerful. All in all, I did have fun with the gear set. I just think it's slightly missing the mark, but it does definitely have potential in my opinion if they can make some adjustments to it. But as it stands, what we did last night on stream while we were playing for Capital Building, we had enough in the end of it. We just switched to our Strikers and it's just so much more fun. So when you do compare it against the meta in the game right now, it's just not comparable. Next up is the brand new exotic shotgun that is coming next season called the Overlord. It looks like, I think this is the KSG shotgun right now. I don't know if this is a placeholder. I'm expecting something looking a lot better than that, to be honest. But we'll see when it releases. The talent that you get on it is called Capitulate, where hitting an enemy applies minus 2% movement speed for each pellet hit for 5 seconds. Shooting the enemy again will reapply the stacks. So I believe the amount of pellets with this shotgun is 8. So if you hit all 8, that'll be 16% movement speed reduction on the target that you can keep on applying. The mods on the weapon are this. You got the Overlord magazine with 15% reload speed. You've got the Overlord optics with 15% crit damage. And the Overlord underbarrel with 20% stability. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was struggling to feel where I would want this talent and shotgun, but we did think maybe PvP, so we just went into the Dark Zone, left the group, went rogue, and just had a look at how much it slowed the target down. So you can see him shooting Milk and Hello here. You can see how quick they're moving, and then how much it slowed them down when they shoot them. And I don't think it's an awful lot. You do notice it. Definitely notice it. So if someone's running around quick and then, you know, PvP players, they strafe about very, very quickly. I guess this could disrupt that a little bit. I'm not so sure. I'm not a huge PvP player on a Division 2, but potentially this shotgun could have a place in PvP. I just don't know where it's going to fit in the PvE side of things. On top of the exotic Overlord shotgun, though, there are 2 additional shotguns coming to the game. They come in the form of named items. The first one is here. It's called Like Glue. And the second one is called Fawn. Both have the same new perfect talent. The talent is called Perfect Brazen, and what it does is you receive 1% amplified damage on the next shot with the weapon for each pellet that hits the target, if at least 4 pellets hit. So you're just going to be amplifying your damage. After your first shot, you'll just be dealing more damage every time. We tested both of these shotguns out, and we got to say we did enjoy them. I think there's definitely a place for these, and they potentially could be the best items that are coming in the new update for the new season. The reason being is just how powerful that talent is. In the DZ here, it took us 2 to 3 shots just to take the armor away. And they did feel very powerful. So again, maybe some DZ PvP builds could be done with these. Or these could even work in PvE as well. I'm thinking of some Hunter's Fury builds potentially, where you can just get up in the face of spawns and do a hell of a lot of damage with these shotguns. But moving on, there's still one more exotic that is going to be coming in the next update on the Division 2, and they are called the Acosta's knee pads. Now, before we even get to the talent, what's good about these in the PTS is that you could re-roll the secondary attributes. So you have the core attribute of armor, but like with weapons where you can re-roll the third attribute, if you were to re-roll these at the crafting station, you get 2 different attributes. So you could end up with crit chance, crit damage on these, or anything that you want. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come for the gear exotics, and they enable us to change these attributes, because there's going to be so much we could do with past exotics if they do this. So I'm hoping for that. But in terms of these new exotic knee pads, apart from that, they were very, very underwhelming. Now, the talent is called Escape Plan. And what it does is when you vault, you get 10% movement speed for 3 seconds. After not moving for 5 seconds, you can receive 20% movement speed for 5 seconds. Being applied a status effect grants 10% movement speed for 5 seconds. Max movement speed bonus is 20%, and the bonuses do not stack with movement speed bonuses from other sources. And there's a 50% movement impairment penalty from status effects as well. Now, we couldn't think of absolutely anything to do with these other than to go into Countdown, put them on, and have a race. That's as far as our testing went on stream last night. It was a little bit of fun. And what I will say is I was vaulting over everything, like you can see in this race on screen now. I did not feel, I did not finish that far ahead of Milkman, who left the knee pads off. We really did not notice this movement speed much at all. And if they're going down this route, I'm sure there's going to be someone out there that's going to see potential in this sort of talent with movement speed. It's just going to have to be a lot more. I don't think 20% just for a few seconds is enough. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see when this comes out. Hopefully it does get a bit of a buff, but where people go with this piece and what sort of builds people think about making. And finally, we have the brand new brand set that is coming in the next season. I have no idea how to pronounce that word at all. We'll just call it Zoo. But for one piece of this, it's going to give you a magazine size increase of 15%, 2 pieces rifle damage of 20%, 3 pieces 30% weapon handling. It does come with some named items as well. We've got a named chest piece called the Bobber. This will give you perfect entrench if you're below 30% armor. Headshots from cover repair 30% of your armor. There was a lot of complaints about this talent. Who wants perfect entrench? What I would say is that in Descent, when I played the Descent game mode, I love entrench and love how it works when you buff it up a little bit with the tiers. I'm not sure how 30% is going to work, but it is self-healing, and I've been playing with a lot of DPS self-healing builds recently, and this potentially could be something I could use. So I'm not writing this piece off at all, but that's what we get on the chest piece. And then the other named item is the Eagle's Grasp Gloves. These just give you a perfect talent of weapon handling of 15%. So more weapon handling there. And I'm not too sure why, but the weapon handling there was highlighted also on the brand set bonus, but the figure wasn't adjusted. We didn't do a lot of testing with this brand set, to be honest with you. We just had a little bit of fun with the mag size. We wanted to see what was the highest mag we could get in our St. Elmo's, and we were able to get 136 mag with different pieces you could put on that increased the magazine size. I also did it with the Ouroboros as well. So it's a little bit of fun with that. I wouldn't say that's anything you're going to go for, though, with this set. You're probably going to make some sort of rifle build because of that 20% rifle damage. And with all this handling you're getting from the named gloves and the new brand set, it could really form some good builds around like the Merciless, which requires some weapon handling. I remember doing a Merciless build a long time ago, and I brought Embraced on the chest to make it work well because it kicks a lot, and it was great. It was a great build. I enjoyed it. So this for me now is giving me a lot more thought around how I can make a new Merciless build. So I'm quite excited about this brand set, and I think it will form some sort of builds, but to challenge, as we was discussing at the start of the video, the Striker gear set, the meta right now, I don't think anything does come close. It could be that they're not looking to challenge the meta in the game right now. I find that strange, though, because with how powerful and fun Strikers is, if you're going to release a gear set for rifles and snipers maybe, then I think it's got to compete. It's got to be that fun. And while I was playing with all this last night, I just wasn't finding it that fun. And again, I just feel it felt underwhelming. And that's the general feedback I was getting from the viewers in chat as well. A lot of people were saying that some of this stuff won't even make the stash, never mind their inventory. But this is the PTS. This is why we're feeding back. This is why they do the PTS. They want to get people's thoughts on it. And I'm sure they'll make some adjustments to make these better before they go live. I do believe that with things like the gear set, just that extra damage, just more damage into that build, that could become very viable. And it'll be interesting to see where they take the feedback and what others are saying. So that is it. That's now the end of this video. I hope they take the feedback on board and make these items better. I'm personally a little bit unsure of the direction they're going with these pieces. I'm not sure anything's gonna work for me, but I said the same last time, and look what happened. I actually tested the rugged gloves out. I fell in love with the rugged gloves and not took them off since. So hopefully something good will come out of it in the end. Again, that's why they're doing this PTS. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm interested in your thoughts as well. If you've been playing it or watching other streamers, what do you think about this new stuff? What ideas have you got around all these new items? Maybe it's that I'm just not thinking right. Maybe I'm missing something. So please comment down below. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching this video today. And until next time, take care and peace out.